All right, we got movement on the defensive back recruiting trail for Oklahoma in this 2020 class. We got to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kin folks? RJ Young, not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about some movement we got on the recruiting trail, and we're going to get into that. And I also want to encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. There's a link in the description below, and if you sign up between now and December 7th, that is when the Big 12 title game is going to be played, you'll be entered to win the Hertz lamp. I'm going to send it out like December 9th, which is the Monday following that weekend. We've had lots of people that sign up for, me writing these bangers, and I've been told that I do a pretty good job. Now, I want to talk about Oklahoma and the recruiting trail following its final home game, a 28-24 win on senior night against Texas Christian, in which they host a few visitors. One of which is 6'4", 215-pound Justin Harrington. Harrington comes out of Bakersfield College in Bakersfield, California. Shout out to my homeboy Tyler, who hails from there as well. And he is 214 pounds, he is 6'3", and he is the number one rated safety in the JUCO class this year. Now, it ain't Ryan Watts, but it's doggone good because perhaps you can plug and play this guy at a safety position for which Pat Field, Delaire, and Turner-Yell doing all they can do, but you obviously would love to get some better safety play, to say nothing of what Jamal Morris and Jeremiah Cradell and perhaps even Ty DeArmond could turn out to be, and this would be a nice compliment to Bryson Washington in this 2020 group. Defensive recruiting is always paramount for Oklahoma, and the only things that make people that follow Oklahoma recruiting happier than defensive back recruiting is defensive tackle recruiting, for which might be some news coming on that as well. Alex Bryant has reopened his recruitment as a highly touted defensive end who was committed to LSU. So there's going to be some moving and shaking here before signing day, on a day in which Riley dropped 2 eyeballs. And to tell my buddy Steve Bullitt's joke, either that or Jalen Hurts is operating Lincoln Riley's account with the 2 drops. I laughed. Like I damn near came unglued when he sent me that joke. And it's a good thing too, because I was in the middle of a heated discussion, very fruitful discussion, but a heated discussion nonetheless, about who the finalists are going to be for the Jim Thorpe Award, among others, right? So all of the college football awards are going to drop their finalist list on Monday. Check around 3, 4 o'clock for that news to drop. But I will say I was very encouraged by the way that we were talking about these guys. I think that everybody on this list is going to be outstanding, and can't wait to see what y'all think about it after the fact. Again, it was very cool. This is my first year to be on the Jim Thorpe Award selection committee and to have a role in helping to whittle this list to semifinalists, to finalists now. And man, this award means so much to me. It means so much to football. And in a day and age where defensive back recruiting is at a paramount, a day and age where having a great defensive back group, secondary group in the NFL can put you in contention to win a Super Bowl. I mean, just take a look at the Patriots. You can see how much this award actually influences the game, and not just us who want to know who the best defensive back is in the country. It's also one of the most difficult awards to win because you don't just have to be great on the field. You also have to be an outstanding character. You have to have outstanding character. You have to do good works in your community, and you have to be the kind of person that we might even find out in the wild who never played football, and we'd be very happy to know you. Now, as it pertains to Oklahoma and Justin Harrington, this is a guy who picked up an offer real quick on his visit. And before that, it was talking about Houston and Oregon State being the leaders for his services, and perhaps even with Oregon State in the lead. So it's not as if Justin Harrington is highly regarded and highly recruited, especially coming out of Bakersfield. But if Roy Manning likes him, and Alex Grinch likes him, and Lincoln Riley likes him, I like him. That is also to say that he had some good things to say for my buddy Steve Wiltfong, who is national recruiting analyst at 247 Sports, to which he spoke very highly of all 3 of those cats. Riley, Grinch, and Manning had nothing but good things to say about them being down to earth, about the people, and about his experience, which is nothing less than we would expect to hear, but it's always good to hear. Now we're getting into closing time. This is a time at which last year, I'll remind you, Lincoln Riley closed one hell of a defensive recruiting class 2019 without a coordinator. He got Ty DeArmond, He got LaRon Stokes. He got, trying to remember who somebody else is in there. Marcus Stripling. That's who I forgot about. All to jump into the boat without a coordinator. Now that he's got Grinch to help him sell this thing, and Roy Manning, who is, fiery as they come, to help him sell that thing, I think we're going to see a run on defensive talent, particularly starting with this dude, perhaps, as Riley, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, dropped some eyes earlier today. And I don't know. It could be an offensive guy. We'll have to wait and see because we don't break commitments. The kids do that themselves. But I would not be surprised to find out that it's going to take a while. And by a while, it could be before early signing period. It could be after. But when it happens, we'll have some stuff to say about it, like we always do. I also wanted to take a moment to talk about just how good Alex Grinch's defense has been over the last, particularly 6 quarters. So they gave up 31 in the first half to Baylor when the offense put them in a bad way. In the last 6 quarters, Alex Grinch's defense has given up a total of 17 points, right? All of those to Texas Christian. And all of those came off turnovers, right? Because the first score, man, Max Duggan goes 62 yards on 1 carry. They rushed for 139 yards all night. He got 62 on that one play. They punch it in. And then Jaden Hazelwood puts the ball on the ground, pick it up. They go get 3. And then we got Jalen Hurts getting mugged for his lunch money on the way to the goal line. And that turns into a 28-24 game right after he throws a pick 6. So we got Jalen Hurts with 2 fumbles. We got him with an interception. And all of a sudden, taking care of the ball security is an issue. I'll put it this way. This year, Oklahoma has fumbled the ball 17 times. They've lost 9 of those. It wasn't that long ago that Jay Boulware benched Abdul Adams for fumbling once. And that was a dude that was averaging doggone near 10 yards per carry. What happened to that? Why does this get to go on? I get that Jalen Hurts is the quarterback and you kind of sort of got to play him. But these are the kinds of things for which just overshadow all the good that he's done. We're talking about 40-plus TDs, over 3,000 yards passing, over 1,000 yards rushing. He's probably going to break Jack Mildren's record for rushing yards in a season by a quarterback, and Mildren ran a wishbone. I mean, he's been phenomenal statistically, but he's also put the ball on the ground in ridiculously important situations. Like Oklahoma has won its last 3 games by a combined 7 points. Let's see, 42-41 Iowa State. And then you're 34-31, that's 4, against Baylor. And then you are 28-24, that's 7, to TCU. Now, I know the scoreboard says 3-0, and I'd be scared as hell if I'm a college football team getting ready to play Oklahoma because the offense has not been playing its best football, and yet they're still 3-0 and moved to 20-0 in their last 20 games in November. But my goodness, something's got to give here, especially on a day in which Lincoln Riley was committed to running the football. 85 plays, more than 60 of those were run plays. 28 carries to Jalen Hurts, 25 carries to Kennedy Brooks. And yet, Jalen Hurts still manages to throw for the fewest amount of yards that a OU quarterback has thrown for in the last 5 years. 11 of 21 for 145. Now, how does that compare to the last 5 years? Put it this way. Trevor Knight went 17 of 37 for 103 yards in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Game that Oklahoma lost 40-6 to a 10-win Clemson team that has turned into a juggernaut and has just been killing people. That's what Oklahoma's offense has been the last couple of weeks. Now, I get they came back for 25 down, but they needed help from the defense. What I'm saying here is Alex Grinch's scheme and his players in it work. It's no longer whether or not it's too simple or it's too easy to read. It's about is he getting what he needs out of them, because that base package of quarters and running man on the outside, whether or not you like Parnell Motley picking up the penalties or not, they're not passing for a lot of yards. I mean, Max Duggan took shots, only got 65 yards passing. The defense has picked up the offense. The defense has picked up the offense. When do we get to say that about Oklahoma football? All right, that is it for me. Doses.